Fortunately, these tools are getting cheaper, getting more available, and getting more portable. This kind of simulations are not the privilege of astronauts anymore. We have use in everyday life, and hopefully it helps.
Welcome to the Metautism podcast, where we're diving into the vibrant world of autism and championing inclusive education and employment. Join us as we explore innovative strategies, share inspiring stories, and analyze groundbreaking initiatives that celebrate differences and advocate for a future of equal opportunities. Let's get started. Hello. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Metautism podcast. I'm your host, Klara, and today I'm joined by Zoltán Kelemen. Zoltan is a consultant and project manager at Learn Virtual Europe. VET is a Hungarian company specialized in virtual reality simulations and digital learning environments aimed at industrial and vocational training. They provide advanced training solutions, especially in welding and other skilled trades. The company integrates VR and real-time interactive simulations to enhance hands-on training and to allow learners to acquire critical technical skills in a safe and controlled environment. They are a crucial partner on this project, Green ASC VET Metautism project, so I'm very excited to dive into this conversation. Zoltan, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. And let's just start from the beginning. Can you paint us a picture of how your solutions work?
We work with simulators with different type and level of simulators for different skills. That's because it is very cost effective first. And there are many cases where it's very effective in learning. For example, when we teach a welder, the movement the welder tries to learn, like a small line, drawing very strictly, that could be very difficult because we really can't control the movement. And this movement could be done very wrongly, and the feedback in a real world would be very crucial and very late, because when we have to wait when it just cools down, we have to break it, and after we see what happened, but it's very late because the learner has the muscle memory already with a very wrong movement. And a kind of simulation, when there are no waste of time, we can immediately could give a good feedback and try to make adjustments to the learner. And beside of this, it's not just welding, that's just an example. That's true for all of our solutions in driving or forestry machines or tower cranes, or even wall painting. It could be, or stone masonry, because we have new solutions in stone masonry. We have this kind of approach, and we try to offer this as a mission to in the Hungarian schools, at least, and all around in the Central European region. So we'd like to offer a very good solution, because now this is a new technology, and we don't want to build like the well-known software strategy when you just build year by year and expires the warranties and so on. No, we have a lifetime support, and we have a lifetime license, because we understand what goes on in schools, and we'd like to make a good basement to improve the whole level of the education.
The things you're working on are not something that you started recently. So you already have over 10 years as a company, but your founder and also you and your team are very experienced in this type of approaches to learning.
With certain simulators, we have even longer experience with not really simulators, but so-called flat screen solutions, motion control solutions. And that's where we were invited in this project, because we think that hard skills could be transferred into certain types of soft skills. Because in this world, I mean, the persons with living with autism has problems with soft skills when introducing themselves, or how to get to places, or easily distracted, or not easily find a way how to communicate, and they need a kind of practice or separation. Yes, a very, very strong need of separation. These virtual reality and simulation environments could provide them a kind of isolated, very customizable to different needs. And that's why we're here in this project, because we tried it with different people living with autism, and they have very promising feedbacks.
What else do you take into consideration when you build those simulations?
Cost effectiveness, portability, because if you have a big box in a school, that's not a good solution. It has to be portable. And other things are very organizational dependent, because teachers are sometimes very reluctant. They had to change the way they teach. So it's a kind of organizational issue, a kind of teaching approach issue, and you have to break through when you install not one equipment, but the whole methodology. And this methodology could be really good, but if we have to be very slow in this kind of penetration, because even we have a very new and good solution, the first reaction is, in the old times when computers were introduced, kids loved it, but adults didn't really like it because they were scared. It was expensive and they didn't dare to touch. And this is the basic reaction now when we just use a virtual glass or something. And first, so we have a very broad strategy, a slow and broad strategy, just to move on, and we try to follow this strategy in the world of people living with autism too, because in Hungary at least we had very, very sad experiences with the system, because officially we have solutions, but in reality, after the 8th grade school, and when they just go to the high schools or secondary level of education, real support almost completely disappear. It's up to the preparedness, the willingness of the very teacher in the classroom, and it's not the real. It's not a good case, because teachers should have certain experience to deal with persons with autism, how to make the chance and how to form the real and good environment for them. And that's where a digital solution may come in, not just with simulation, but any type of digital solutions. We have not just simulations, but for example, flat screen solutions, really just a screen when you just follow different lines and try to keep angles with your body. And it implies that not just the body movement you learn when you're just facing this kind of flat screen simulators or motion control simulators, but your focusing ability will be developed very, very quickly and very strongly. And that's the other thing that people with autism really could need.
If I got it correct, you're taking holistic approach to your simulations, to your solutions in general, not only for those who will be using it, but also to teachers. So how many of your resources, your time, your human resources and everything goes into teaching part of your solutions?
That's a complex question, because it's a small business. So we have 8 or 10 people, and everybody does everything. So now we try to somehow define the project members, and I'm the project leader, and I have different supporters. And one of my colleagues and the owner of the business is the technical director, and he supports me and the whole project on the technical way, and I try to support the project on the pedagogical manner. And we have quite broad network in the vocational education system in Hungary, and we have different advisors and people ready to test solutions. And now we're not testing anything, we are just making question and getting information still. And I think we will have to reconsider in each month what we will provide, because there are no two identical people diagnosed with autism, and we try to find a way to get the right direction and the right how to say it, the right the right width of the project range. And now it's not done, and we have slowly but surely get the goal. And we think like when you make a sculpture, everything should be made of clay, and keep on that clay wet, because you can really move things later on, and you only just the final point we use bronze and make the final version. So that's the approach. And now we just getting information, and we have very sad experiences in Hungary and in the countries surrounding, because the support for people on spectrum are very, very different, city by city or region by region. So we try to find the good examples, best practices already in use to integrate into the solution. And the final solution will be a kind of book or a website. Once that was one coin for teachers and parents and people living with autism. And another solution with the set of digital solution could be offered. So that's the two main results of the job. And of course, we like to disseminate time to time and all the time, and try to make the network alive, and slowly but surely cast this kind of software and mentality among teachers.
When speaking about this project, Green ASC VET Metautism project, what is your scope of partnership, let's say that way, on this project, aimed directly at improving and training VET skills for the people and students on the autism spectrum?
So the scope is manifolded. We're trying to find the right audience or the right target group, and now we move on this. This is one scope. The other scope is find a good way to write good methodologies and good suggestions and offerings, and put it in one box and serve it as a multiply foldable box, to be very flexible, still understandable. Most of the people really don't know how to deal with digital or virtual reality tools. So that's another scope. And the third scope is how to integrate the existing results, because the development is in very good hands with young professionals in Denmark, and they do a very great job with this kind of simulation for interviews. That will be a very good result. This is a much bigger or much more complex problem. We'd like to cover with this holistic approach and integrate all the parts into one with the project members. So now we are in a very open mind state, and we'd like to find the right way, and we still do not know exactly, as in a sculpturing with clay, what the final result will be.
That's a great metaphor for clay and then bronze or some other metal as a final version, final product. How do you see the future of such digital and virtual reality solutions? Is the future bright, or is there many things to do to educate people and so on?
Fortunately, these tools are getting cheaper, getting more available, and getting more portable. These two things offers a very good future or prospects, I guess, because if is it available on the market, or maybe in a supermarket, and you just put on and switch the good training program, you can do many things on your own pace. Just an example, one of my daughter goes to school when the people, the students on spectrum are in the same class. And I know some of the students go home and spend an extra 2 hours just to relearn with his mother the whole subject. Because even this very accepting and very uniform environment, sometimes a pupil needs extra time to understand and extra time to really form the material on his own language. It makes these kind of digital solutions are designed or should be designed to make this easier, much easier. That will be a kind of prospect, and this is the vision, the final vision, because it's this kind of simulations are not the privilege of astronauts anymore. We have use in everyday life, and hopefully it helps. Hopefully, yes, because we have a kind of there are many what if questions. For example, now the mobile addiction is prevailing everywhere. If you just look around in a tram or in a bus, everybody is just seeing his mobile phone, and so it's a very big addiction issue, I guess. And everybody gets nervous if you leave the mobile home, because it's very a requirement for the everyday life in Europe. And this could be a problem with this kind of new technology too. After 10 years, maybe everybody just gets nervous if we don't have the virtual glass that will be much smaller than the existing ones. But that's not the scope we're talking about. But this is a kind of, we have to prepare of these kind of issues now. For people on the spectrum.
That was a great conclusion. I can see that it is very nuanced answer. There are many factors to take into consideration, but I can see that the future for these solutions is bright. Thank you, Zoltan, so much for joining me.
Thank you, Klara. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as well. And of course, thank you to the Erasmus Plus program of European Union for funding this project. All opinions are our own. And of course, also thank you, dear listener or watcher, for joining us on this episode, and subscribe or follow on your favorite listening platforms so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. Until the next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.